Hey, beloved, what a pleasure to be together. I've been thinking about this sacrament of confirmation and what it means and what it calls us to, and what's at the heart of the matter when it comes to the grace in the sacrament of confirmation. And in thinking about that, and I know it'll shock you, a story came to mind. Some of you may have heard this story, but it's okay because really good stories are meant to be retold. Enjoy it with me if you've heard it previously. The story involves Cardinal Bernardine, and it's such a tender story. At the time of the story, Cardinal Bernardine's cancer has returned, and it's returned with a vengeance. And he had just come off a period when the cancer was in remission. And so the medical folks at Loyola U said to him, Cardinal, we're going to keep you comfortable. And we have some things we can do here in the hospital if you come back and visit us periodically. So that was the understanding. And then they knew that he was physically in a great deal of pain and discomfort. So they said to him, Cardinal, we know that coming here is not the easiest. If you want to just come in the basement, we'll bring you up the back way, do the procedures, and then you can leave in the same fashion, and that will eliminate the stress of encountering lots of people. He said, I'd like to come in that way, but when I leave, I would prefer to leave either through the cancer unit, the pediatric unit, or the Alzheimer's unit. And they're like, Cardinal, do whatever you want to do. So on this particular day, he's leaving through the Alzheimer's unit. And he gets down there, he's sort of weak, so he can't spend too much time. But he encounters a guy that he has a really beautiful, like 5-minute conversation with. And those of you who know Cardinal Bernardine, first of all, you probably love him because it's hard not to. He's just such a beautiful man. But he also was really humble. So he didn't do a lot that like screamed cardinal. So there was not a lot of lace going on, you know what I'm saying? And nothing just announced, by the way, I am the cardinal. So he had this cassock on that has little red piping, and then he had his cardinal's cross, but he usually put it in his breast pocket. So unless you knew what the situation was, you might not know he's the cardinal. So the cardinal thinks this gentleman that I've just had a 5-minute conversation with might be heartened to know that the cardinal of the Archdiocese of Chicago just spent 5 minutes talking with him. So the cardinal wanted to just let the guy know just in case he wasn't aware. So they've had this beautiful conversation, and the cardinal's about to take his leave. And he leans in, so it's a little more intimate, and he just says, do you know who I am? The guy says, no, sorry, Cardinal, I don't know who I am. But if you ask Nurse Schmidt, she'll remind you who you are. So for me, the greatest part of the story is Cardinal Bernardine goes to Nurse Schmidt and says, Mr. O'Brien over there told me if I came over to you, you would remind me who I am. And then she, cackles like, and then at some point she said, you're Cardinal Bernardine. Part of the grace of the sacrament of confirmation is being reminded who we are. You are loved. You were baptized a long time ago when you were an infant. And I want to remind you that in your current place in life, wherever that may be, you are that. You are baptized. And because of that, you are free. And because of that, you're in a position to use your gifts in the service of life and love. And you're in a position to live freely with your limitations, your wounds, your enduring vulnerabilities. That is a grace of untold proportion. So let's all of us go to Nurse Schmidt and allow her to remind us who we are. You are beloved. Now go live in the Spirit. Let's do that. Isn't that the soul of the Beloved Retreat? To remind, the Beloved Retreat is Nurse Schmidt. This is who you are. Be free. Be free. Live in the Spirit. Oh, wow. What a privilege to have experienced the Beloved Retreat together, to be reminded who we are, and to be able to return over and over and over again. Speaking of returning, could I especially invite you to join us? This coming weekend is the 64th Beloved Retreat. And I think you know that we're doing this virtually. And as part of the virtual retreat, we invite you to join us at those traditional parts of the retreat on Friday night and on Sunday. You'll be receiving some instructions regarding that, of how to log on, et cetera, today or tomorrow in an email. And it means so much to those retreatants to have their screens just filled with people. And they ask that question like, who are these people? Where have they come from? Why are they here on a Friday night or a Sunday afternoon? To the extent that you're in a position, please join us. And one more invitation to our next and second to last legacy, which will take place on Sunday, April 30th. And we'll be welcoming our newest beloved members, and it will mean a lot to them to be welcomed by you. As always, a deep privilege and pleasure to do good church with such good people. Amen.